Hello everyone. I'm Yumu from Susan's family. Today, I will show you how to make tribute to art series, Impressionism bouquet, Van Gogh's Sunflowers. For this electronic chart, you can enter susud.com to view it. This bouquet is divided into two parts, the flower branches and the packaging. We have a separate tutorial for the packaging part. Here, we will only focus on the flower branches. Let's get started. There are mainly 6 types of flower branches: daisies, leaves, sunflower A, B, C, and D. The daisies do not form separate flower branches. When assembling other flower branches, you can add them into the flower branches based on your preference. There are multiple daisies. This is divided into flowers, calyx, and assembly. The flowers are pre-made and do not need to be made. The calyx uses the magic ring method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. The stitches used include chains, single crochets, and slip stitches. Now, let's get started. Take out the corresponding yarn. Here, for convenience of watching, I will use cotton yarn for demonstration. The colors are random. For specific yarn, color schemes, and hook sizes, refer to the website of this product and the printed chart. Start with an adjustable magic ring. Please notice to leave a 40 cm tail before casting on. The magic ring can be larger here. Then chain 1 as the beginning chain for the single crochet. The beginning chain doesn't count as a stitch. Next, work 6 single crochets into the magic ring. After completing, close the ring. You can move the crocheted part to the right. Then pull the yarn tail. Close the center. Try to pull it tight. Place the excess yarn tail on the textured right side. Finally, work 1 slip stitch into the first single crochet. If you do not know where the very first stitch is, you can count the stitches from back to front. Gently pull to tighten the joining slip stitch. Cut the yarn. Chain 1 to secure. Leave a 5 cm tail and cut off. Pull tight. Weave in the yarn tail following the texture on the wrong side. You can work a few more stitches. Trim excess tail. The calyx is now complete. Cut a piece of thin wire about 30 centimeters long. The color of the wire in this tutorial is only as an example. Please follow the actual project you have. Insert the wire into the center of the magic ring, on the wrong side of the calyx. And a bit into the edge. Twist to secure in place. Apply glue on the wrong side of the calyx. Then take out a daisy. Cut off one daisy. Trim it. Glue it onto the wrong side of the calyx. Please notice that the clear and beautiful texture of the flower should face upward. Press to secure. Then wrap the reserved yarn around the thin wire. You can apply a little glue at the start. Trim excess tail. Finally, apply a little glue. Secure the yarn tail. One daisy is now complete. Make the rest of the daisies using the same method. Next, let's move to the leaves. Take a look at the finished product. There are two sizes of leaves. The quantities differ. The crochet method is similar. We will start with the foundation chain. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. Add thin wire while crocheting. Finally, assemble them into a bouquet. There are many new stitches used. They are all marked on the chart. I won't list them one by one here. Here, I'll demonstrate the crochet method for the large leaf as an example. Start with a foundation chain. Hold the yarn with the left hand. Hold the hook with the right hand. Make one knot. This knot doesn't count as one stitch. Slightly tighten. Now start crocheting the chains. Refer to the chart for the specific number of chains. The foundation chain is now complete. Move on to the first round. Before you start, cut two pieces of thin wire, each about 65 centimeters long. Hold them together and set them aside. For the small leaf, about 35 centimeters of wire is enough. Then make one chain as your beginning chain. Work into the second chain from the hook. Pick up the half loop above the chain. Make 2 single crochets. While crocheting, place the wire over the hook. Wrap it in as you crochet. Tidy up and align the wire. Start by leaving about 10 centimeters wire. Then continue picking up the half loops and crochet 4 single crochets evenly. Crochet 5 half double crochets. After complete, work double crochets correspondingly. Following the chart, continue crocheting half double crochets and single crochets. Work 3 single crochets into the last chain. Tidy up the piece when done. Align the wire at both ends. Bend it. Then crochet symmetrical stitches for the other side. When crocheting this side, wrap in the starting yarn tail and the thin wire together. Please notice don't crochet into the entry position of these 3 single crochets. Pick up the remaining 2 strands of the chain and crochet. Tighten it. On the last chain, work 1 single crochet. Then pick up the first single crochet and work 1 slip stitch. Bring the thin wire along. Pull tight. Tidy up the piece. Twist the wire to tighten. This completes the first round. We will consider the side with the clearer texture as the right side. Move on to the second round. Here I will use a swatch for demonstration. Start with 1 chain. Work 1 single crochet at the entry position of the slip stitch. Then work 1 SC2 in 1 on the left stitch. That is, work 2 single crochets into the same stitch. SC2 in 1 completed. Continue picking up stitches corresponding, work single crochets and half double crochets. When you reach the double crochet position, work 3 double crochets correspondingly. Then work 1 DC 2 in 1. That is, work 2 double crochets into the same stitch. DC 2 in 1 completed. Follow the chart. Continue crocheting until just before the 3 single crochets at the other end. When you reach the corresponding position, work 1 SC2 in 1 in the 3 single crochets. One SC3 in 1. That is, work 3 single crochets into the same stitch. SC3 in 1 completed. Continue by working 1 SC2 in 1. Rotate the piece, pick up stitches, and crochet symmetrical stitches on the other side. After completing the last SC2 in 1, finish with a slip stitch. Don't need to wrap the wire. This completes the second round. Finally, crochet the third round. Skip the slip stitch position below. Work 2 slip stitches in the first 2 stitches on the left side. Work the slip stitches normally here, no need to tighten. Then crochet 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 1 double crochet and 1 DC2 in 1. Then crochet 1 treble crochet, yarn over twice. Insert, pull the yarn through. There are 4 loops on the hook. Then yarn over one after another, draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Treble crochet is complete. Then work 1 TR2 in 1 on the left side. That means work 2 treble stitches into the same stitch. Work the first stitch first. Yarn over twice. Insert. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over one after another, draw through the first 2 loops. Repeat 3 times. The first treble crochet is complete. Work another treble crochet in the same position. The TR2 in 1 is completed. Continue crocheting according to the chart. Crochet until you reach the position for SC3 in 1. When you reach the corresponding position, work 1 single crochet. Then in the next left stitch, work 1 single crochet. 1 chain. 1 double crochet. 1 chain. Pick up the front loop of the lower double crochet stitch. That is, this strand of yarn. And the strand below. Work 1 slip stitch. Gently tighten. Continue with 1 chain. Work 1 single crochet in the same position below. Work 1 single crochet on the left stitch. Continue crocheting symmetrically according to the chart. After working the last 2 slip stitches at the slip stitch position from the previous round, pick up approximately position to work 1 slip stitch. Leave a 20 cm yarn tail, and fasten off the yarn. This completes the large leaf. Work the remaining large leaves using the same method. The small leaf is similar. Please complete it by referring to the chart. After completing the leaves, we will now assemble them. Here, I will demonstrate with a sample. Thread the reserved yarn tail onto the sewing needle. Take out the flower stem. Place it on the wrong side, where the leaf's yarn tail is. Overlap by about 3 centimeters. Sew and secure it. Try to keep the sewing invisible from the right side. After securing it, tie off and weave in the ends. Next, take the yarn used for the leaf. Apply a little glue to the top of the stem. Organize the wire. Wrap it around the stem. Start wrapping tightly. Make sure the wrapping is tight and smooth. You can add daisies while wrapping. The number of daisies is random. For the demonstration, we'll add 1 daisy. Adjust the position. Make sure the daisy can be seen when packaging. Please notice that you can add daisies to any flower branch. The number added each time can be adjusted. Choose based on your preference. We won't demonstrate adding daisies during the following assembly of the flower branches. Wrap until about 10 centimeters from the bottom of the flower stem. Trim excess tails. Apply glue to secure it in place. Organize it well. Now 1 large leaf is assembled. When assembling the small leaves, the length reserved at the bottom of the flower stem can be slightly longer. That concludes the tutorial for the leaves. Next, let's move to sunflower, Let's look at the finished product. Sunflower A has multiple color schemes. They are all divided into the flower core, petals, calyx, and assembly. The flower core uses the magic ring method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. Let's get started. First, start with an adjustable magic ring. Then crochet the first round. Start with 1 chain as your beginning chain. Crochet 6 single crochets in the magic ring. Close the ring when done. Then finish with a slip stitch. The first round is completed. Move on to the second round. Start with 1 chain. Pick up stitches correspondingly and make SC2 in 1S. Place the yarn tail over the hook. Weave in the ends as you go along. After completing the last SC2 in 1, you can check the stitch count. Then work a slip stitch into the first single crochet. Pull tight. The second round is now complete. We will use the side with the prominent texture as the right side. The starting yarn tail has been woven in for 1 round. You can cut it directly. For the following rounds 3 to 5, continue picking up stitches and crocheting in rounds with corresponding stitches. Please notice to make SC2 in 1S at the corresponding positions for increasing. Refer to the chart to complete these rounds. Now crochet round 6. Before you start, notice the stitches look like this with 2 strands. The strand closer to you is called the front loop. The other strand is the back loop. For this round, crochet into the back loops. Start with 1 chain. Make 1 single crochet in the back loop of the stitch. Then, in the left side back loop, make 1 SC2 in 1. Continue crocheting into the back loops. Work the corresponding stitches. After completing the last single crochet, join with a slip stitch in the first stitch. Pull tight. Round 6 is now complete. You can see that the right side of the piece has formed a horizontal line. Now, I'll show you how to count rounds. On the right side of the piece, there will be raised textures in circles. Start counting from the cast on. Count the number of these textured rounds. This indicates how many rounds have been completed. You can see there are 6 textured rounds. This means 6 rounds have been completed. For the next rounds 7 to 11, continue crocheting in the back loops in rounds. After completing, the surface will have 6 horizontal lines. Refer to the chart to complete it. Move on to round 12. Start with 3 chains as a bridge. Enlarge the loop. Remove the hook. Find the slip stitch position in round 9. Insert from the bottom up into the remaining half loop. Draw the loop through. Adjust it. Then crochet 2 chains. Work 1 double crochet in the same loop. Next, in approximately the corresponding half loop above in round 10, crochet 1 slip stitch. Slightly tighten. Then crochet 1 chain. We will treat the stitches in this half loop as one group. Continue and crochet another group. First, remove the hook. Insert from the bottom up through the horizontal line on the left side of round 9. Draw the loop through. Adjust it. Crochet 2 chains. 1 double crochet. Slip stitch in the corresponding horizontal line above. The slip stitch placement for this group is not exactly matched. Just crochet roughly in the corresponding stitch. Adjust according to the actual situation. Ensure the pattern looks neat and tidy. Continue with 1 chain. The second group is completed. Work the groups evenly along the horizontal lines of round 9. Before crocheting, make sure to carry the loops to the corresponding position. Continue crocheting. After completing the last group, carry the loops to the starting insertion position. This completes round 12. Move on to round 13. Start with 3 chains as a bridge. Draw the loop through the remaining half loop of the slip stitch position in round 7 below. Then crochet according to the method used in round 12. Please notice the slip stitches above. Pick up and crochet in the roughly corresponding, remaining half loop from round 8. Continue to crochet and finish this round. Finally, draw the loop through at the starting insertion position. Round 13 is complete. For the following round 14, the technique is similar to round 13. Crochet on the remaining 2 horizontal lines. Complete this round on your own. Crochet 1 chain to secure. Cut the yarn. Draw the yarn tail to the wrong side. Weave in it along the texture. Adjust it. Now the flower core is completed. Next, crochet the petals. Let's look at the finished product. The petals are crocheted in rounds on the flower core. They are divided into the first layer and the second layer. While crocheting, thin wire needs to be added. Let's get started. First, crochet the first layer of petals. Take out the corresponding yarn. Find round 11 of the flower core. Join the yarn to the front loop of the slip stitch insertion spot. Insert the hook. Pull the yarn through. Joining the yarn is complete. Then, following the chart, crochet the corresponding number of chains. After completing, start from the second chain from the hook. Pick up the back ridge of the chain, which is this strand of yarn. Crochet slip stitches. Do not tighten. After completing the slip stitches, turn the piece over. Join with a slip stitch in the front loop, 1 stitch apart on the left side of the joining point. Please notice that this is the front loop viewed from the right side. Slightly tighten. Make 1 chain. Adjust the piece and crochet on the right side. There are these V-shaped braids on both sides of the chains. Pick up the V-shaped braid of the last slip stitch on the chain. That's 2 strands. Make 1 single crochet. As you crochet, take out the thin wire, place it above the hook. Wrap in together. After completing, bend the thin wire. Continue to pick up the V-shaped braids, and crochet the corresponding stitches. Continue wrapping the thin wire. Make 1 slip stitch in the last V-shaped braid. Then pick up a strand roughly at the top position, and make 1 slip stitch. When you reach the other side, pick up the other 2 strands. Crochet stitches symmetrical to the right side. Continue wrapping the thin wire. The last chain might be a bit distorted. Pay attention not to miss it. After completing the chain position, work 1 slip stitch on the left side front loop of round 11. Bring along the thin wire and yarn tail. Slightly tighten. Take a look. We treat the already crocheted stitches as a small petal. It occupies 4 stitch positions. Continue to crochet another small petal. First, pick up the front loop to the left and crochet 2 slip stitches as a bridge. While crocheting, bring along the wire and yarn tail. Then crochet the corresponding number of chains. Temporarily place the thin wire behind. Start from the second chain from the hook. Pick up the back ridges and crochet slip stitches correspondingly. After completing, turn the work. On the first slip stitch on the left side, pick up the V-shaped braid and slip stitch. Slightly tighten. Then make 1 chain. On the right side, start from the second to last slip stitch. Pick up the braid and crochet the corresponding stitches. Bring along the thin wire. At the tip position, pick up approximately 1 strand and crochet 1 slip stitch. Then pick up the remaining 2 strands and crochet the corresponding stitches. Complete and join with a slip stitch on the left side below in the front loop. Bring along the thin wire. Take a look. This small petal occupies about 3 stitches wide. Below, crochet another small petal that occupies 4 stitches wide. Please notice that you need to chain 3 as a bridge at the beginning. Then crochet the petal. After completing the slip stitches on the chains, turn the work. Slip stitch into the first bridge slip stitch on the left side. Then continue crocheting the small petal. Finally, slip stitch on the left side front loop. A small petal that occupies 4 stitches wide is completed. Continue alternating work the small petals 3 stitch and 4 stitch wide. We will consider the 5 completed small petals as a group. The rest is repeating this group of crocheting. Complete this layer. Please finish it. After completing the last small petal, the first layer of petals is finished. Continue crocheting the second layer of petals. Place the first layer in front. Find the slip stitch position in the last round of the flower core. The back loop correspondingly. In the back loop of the second stitch on the right side. Roughly at this position. Work 1 slip stitch as a bridge. This is the gap between 2 petals of the first layer. The back loop corresponding. Bring the wire to the back. Continue crocheting 1 large petal. The technique is similar to the small petals, but the number of stitches is different. After completing the slip stitches on the chains, turn the work. Skip 1 small horizontal line to the left. And slip stitch in the next horizontal line position. Then continue crocheting. And continue bringing the wire along. Finish with a slip stitch in the back loop on the left side. You can see that the second layer of petals is staggered with the first layer. Continue crocheting the second layer of petals. According to the rule of the first layer, complete the second layer of petals. After completing the last petal, leave a 5 cm yarn tail, and fasten off the yarn. Tidy up the wire. Leave a 5 cm tail and cut the wire. Weave in the yarn tail and the wire along the texture on the wrong side of the flower core. You can also use a sewing needle to help when weaving in the wire. Take a few more stitches. Trim off the excess wire. Weave in the yarn tail as well. Complete it on your own, please. Organize it. This completes the petals. Next, let's move to the calyx. Here is the finished product. The flower calyx uses the adjustable magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. Let's get started. Start with the first round. The method is similar to that of the daisy calyx. Don't make the magic ring too tight. Place the yarn tail on the textured right side before joining with a slip stitch. The first round is complete. Continue with the second round. Before slip stitching, turn the right side outward. Then slip stitch. The second round is complete. Continue crocheting in rounds counterclockwise. Please increase at the corresponding positions. Now I will demonstrate the crochet for the final round. First, crochet the corresponding number of chains according to the chart. After completing, start from the second chain from the hook. Pick up half loops and crochet the corresponding stitch. After completing, do not count the slip stitch position as a stitch below. Skip 3 stitches and slip stitch into the front loop. Treat the already crocheted stitches as one group. Continue crocheting another group. Finally, skip 3 stitches and slip stitch into the front loop. Continue crocheting with skipping 3 stitches way. Please notice that for the last 2 groups, skip 2 stitches and slip stitch into the front loop. Follow the chart and complete this round. For the last group, the ending slip stitch. Crochet into the front loop of the slip stitch from the previous round. Leave a 60 cm yarn tail, and fasten off the yarn. The calyx is now completed. Finally, assemble the flower branch. Take out the stem, bend the top slightly. Insert from the wrong side of the calyx to the center of the cast-on. If it's difficult to insert, you can widen the position. Thread the reserved yarn tail into the sewing needle. Take out the flower core with the right side facing up. Pick up the back loop of the second to last round of the calyx. Sew it to the wrong side bottom strand of the petal with a whip stitch. Pull as tight as possible. Try not to show any seam on the right side. Adjust the position while sewing. Ensure they align evenly. When there is still some distance left, add some yarn tails. Slightly stuff it. Adjust the shape of the calyx, making it as plump as possible. Continue sewing until finished. Tie off and weave in the ends. Next, adjust the position of the stem. The flower core should be slightly raised. Ensure the curve is smooth. Wrap the stem with the yarn used for the crochet calyx. Use the same method as for assembling the leaves. Finally, secure and weave in the yarn tails. Tidy up the petals according to your preference. That concludes the tutorial for Sunflower A. Now let's move to Sunflower B. Let's look at the finished product. Sunflower B consists of the flower core, petals, calyx, and assembly. The flower core uses the magic ring method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. Let's get started. The first 4 rounds are similar to the beginning rounds of the sunflower flower core. Please notice that rounds 2 to 4 are all crocheted in the back loop only. The swatch here has already been crocheted in advance. Now crochet round 5. Start with 3 chains as a bridge. Work into the remaining half loop of the slip stitch position from the 3rd round. Then crochet the pattern. The crochet method is same to the pattern used for the sunflower flower core. Here, pick up the front loop of the stitch from round 4 and crochet a slip stitch. Since the stitch count in round 4 is the same as in the 3rd round, you can simply match up and crochet the half loops with slip stitches. As the previous demonstration, refer to the chart and complete this round. Round 5 is completed. For round 6, crochet the pattern on the next 2 horizontal lines. The method is similar to before. Refer to the chart and complete it. After completing the pattern corresponding to the last horizontal line, draw the loop through the beginning position. Then crochet 2 chains. In the same position, crochet 1 double crochet. Then fasten off the yarn. Draw the yarn tail to the wrong side. Adjust it. Fill in the middle position. Weave in the yarn tail on the wrong side. The flower core is now completed. Move on to crocheting the petals. Let's look at the finished product. The petals are crocheted on the flower core. While crocheting, switch colors and add thin wire. Let's get started. Take out the corresponding 2 yarns. One of the yarns has multiple color segments. There are no color requirements for the actual project. Choose the color segments based on your preference. For the swatch, use 2 colors of cotton yarn instead. Start with one of the yarns. Call it color 1. Join the yarn to any half loop on the last round of the flower core. Then crochet the corresponding number of chains. After completing, take out the thin wire. Place it behind the piece. Start by leaving a little distance wire. Pick up the back ridge of the second chain from the hook. Work 1 slip stitch. Pull the wire through together. Do not tighten. Then bend the excess wire at the back. Hold it tightly. When crocheting later, wrap it in together. You can also take out another yarn here. We call it color 2. Crochet and wrap it in as you go. Continue picking up the back ridge and crocheting the corresponding stitch. After the last single crochet, work 1 slip stitch in the remaining back loops on the left side and switch yarn. Insert the hook. Tidy up the wire and wrap it in. The yarn tail for joining can also be woven in. Place color 1 behind. Switch to color 2 and hold it. Draw through. Slightly tighten the yarn behind. This completes the slip stitch and switching colors. We consider the already crocheted stitches as one petal. Continue using color 2 to crochet another petal. Start by crocheting chains. After completing, tidy up the wire along the piece. Work 1 slip stitch in the back ridge of the second chain from the hook. Wrap in the wire. Then bend and tidy up the thin wire close to the piece. Bend it. Pinch it tightly. When crocheting later, wrap both folded wires together. Continue crocheting. After completing the chain positions, join with a slip stitch in the back loop on the left side and switch colors. Don't forget to wrap in the wire. Place color 2 behind. Hold color 1. Draw through. Please make the carried yarn of color 1 close to the piece. Do not pull tight. Adjust it. This completes the second petal. Alternate using corresponding yarn to crochet petals. When crocheting, please wrap in the thin wire. The method for wrapping the thin wire. It's the same wrapping method as the second petal. Switch yarn at the last slip stitch of the petal. The carried yarn on the wrong side needs to be close to the piece. Refer to the chart to complete all the petals. If the yarn tails get tangled here, please separate them promptly. The last slip stitch of the final petal should be worked into the starting joining point. You can avoid switching yarn here. Continue wrapping the wire. After completing, leave 5 cm for both yarn tails and the wire before cutting. Trim any remaining yarn tails here. Weave in the yarn tails and the wire along the texture of the wrong side. Please finish this on your own. Adjust the petals. That concludes the tutorial for the petals. Next, let's move to the calyx. Let's look at the finished product. The calyx uses the magic ring method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. The crochet technique for the first few rounds is similar to the corresponding position of the calyx in Sunflower A. Please notice that the cast-on yarn tail should be placed on the outside. The right side faces out. Now, I will demonstrate the crochet for the last 2 rounds. Here, I will use a swatch to demonstrate. First, crochet the second to last round. Start with the corresponding number of chains. After completing, start from the second chain from the hook. Pick up half loops to crochet the corresponding stitch. Skip the front loop of the slip stitch position on the bottom left, and the next stitch on the left. Make a slip stitch in the next front loop. Slightly tighten. We consider the already crocheted stitches as one group. Continue to crochet another group. Please notice that the ending slip stitch is in the next front loop. Below, continue crocheting another group. Between the slip stitch positions of the ending, alternate skipping one stitch and not skipping. Refer to the chart and complete this round. The ending slip stitch of the last group should be made in the front loop of the slip stitch position from the previous round. The second to last round is now completed. Next, crochet the final round. First, make a slip stitch in the corresponding back loop behind. Choose the nearest back loop to crochet. The swatch position is random. Then, refer to the chart and crochet the corresponding number of chains. Start from the second chain from the hook. Pick the half loop and crochet the corresponding stitch. After completing, slip stitch in the next back loop. We will consider the stitches after the bridge slip stitch as one group. The rest is repeating this group of stitches. Correspondingly, pick the back loops and crochet. Continue crocheting to finish this round. The ending slip stitch of the last group should be made in the insertion position of the starting bridge slip stitch. You can check the number of groups. Leave a 30 cm tail and fasten off the yarn. That concludes the tutorial for the calyx. Finally, assemble Sunflower B. The method is similar to Sunflower A. Insert the stem first. Don't forget to bend the tip. Then sew the calyx and petals together, with their wrong sides facing each other. Pick up the third last round of single crochets on the calyx. And sew with whip stitches to the corresponding position, at the base of the petals. Add some yarn tails for stuffing as well. Finally, wrap the stem with the yarn from the calyx. Please finish it. Tidy up the petals. Shape them according to your preference. That concludes the tutorial for Sunflower B. Next, let's move to Sunflower C. Let's look at the finished product. Sunflower C has various color schemes. It is divided into three parts: the flower core, the calyx, and assembly. The flower core starts with a magic ring. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. The new stitches used are the SC loop street and the SC loop street 2-in-1. Let's get started. Start with an adjustable magic ring. After completing, chain 1 to begin. Work 1 SC loop street in the ring. First, press the yarn downward at the back with your left middle finger. The loop can be slightly larger here. Ensure the overall height of the ring is no less than 2 centimeters. Then insert into the magic ring. Yarn over and draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through. Remove the finger. This loop will form at the back of the piece. 1 SC loop street is completed. The braid on the top right is its stitch. Continue and work another SC loop street. Press the yarn with the finger. Insert. Tidy up the loop at the back. Do not crochet into it. Yarn over and draw the yarn through. Yarn over and draw through. Remove the finger. Another SC loop street is completed. Continue with 4 more SC loop STS. Tighten the ring after completing. Make sure to tidy up the loops at the back here. Finish with a slip stitch. Please notice to place the starting tail on the side without loops. This completes the first round. Continue with the second round. Start with a chain 1. Hook 1 SC loop street 2 in 1 in the slip stitch position. That is, work 2 SC loop STS in the same stitch. The starting tail can be placed in front and woven in. Please notice to keep the loop size consistent with the first round. SC loop street 2 in 1 completed. Continue to crochet SC loop street 2 in 1 S correspondingly. Finish with a slip stitch. The second round is complete. Trim off the excess tail. For the following rounds, crochet SC loop STS in rounds. Increase in the corresponding positions. Refer to the chart to complete it. Leave a 5 cm tail and cut the yarn. Secure it on the right side. As you can see, this is what the swatch flower core looks like after completion. Next, I will explain the calyx using the swatch. The calyx for sunflower C is similar to the calyx for sunflower A. The right side faces out. For the last round, the group of stitches, pick up the front loops and crochet. Space slip stitches by 1 stitch. Leave a 40 cm tail and fasten off the yarn. That completes the tutorial for the calyx. Finally, assemble sunflower C. The method is similar to the previous sunflowers. Here, I'll demonstrate sewing the calyx. Pick up the back loops of the second to last round of the calyx. Whip stitch it to the stitches of the last round of the flower core. Don't forget to stuff it. After sewing everything, tie off and weave in the ends. Then, cut open all the loops of the flower core. After cutting, trim the tails neatly. Trim according to your preference. Finally, wrap the stem with the yarn from the calyx. Complete it on your own, please. That concludes the tutorial for Sunflower C. Now let's move to Sunflower D. Let's look at the finished product. Sunflower D consists of the flower core, the calyx, and assembly. The flower core is made by wrapping the yarn. The calyx is divided into the main piece and the leaves. The main piece uses the magic ring method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise. After completing, crochet the leaves in rounds. The new stitch technique used is SC2 tog. Let's get started. The crocheting method for the calyx main piece is similar to the flower core of Sunflower A. Please notice that you need to work in the back loop of the corresponding rounds. Below, I will use a swatch to demonstrate the crocheting for round 6. First, make one chain as your beginning chain. Then, work one SC2 in 1. Here, you need to use the invisible decrease method. Insert the hook into the front loop of the next stitch. Then from front to back, insert into the front loop of the stitch on the left. Make one single crochet. One SC2 in 1 is completed. Crochet using this method. The gaps between stitches are smaller. The texture of the piece is more delicate. Continue to crochet 6 single crochets. After completing, make one invisible decrease. From front to back, pick up the front loops of the adjacent 2 stitches on the left. Make one single crochet. The invisible decrease is completed. Move on to crochet 6 single crochets. Repeat this process. Crochet 1 SC2 tog and 6 single crochets. End with a slip stitch. Round 6 is completed. Continue with round 7. Refer to the chart and pick the back loops to crochet the corresponding stitches. When you encounter a SC2 tog, first pick the second back loop on the left side. Then insert into the back loop on the right side. This might be a bit tricky. You can loosen the stitch first using your sewing needle. Then insert. Crochet a single crochet. The invisible decrease worked into the back loops is completed. Continue crocheting single crochets. Please notice that you start from the left side back loop. I will demonstrate the method for working an invisible decrease with back loops again. First, pick the 2 back loops on the left side. Pick the left side first. Then insert into the right side. Make 1 single crochet. The invisible decrease is completed. Continue following the chart and crochet the entire round. Finish with a slip stitch. Round 7 is completed. The following round 8. Work corresponding SC2 togs. Pick the front loops and work invisible decrease. Please complete this. That concludes the main part of the calyx. Next, crochet the calyx leaves. Start with the first round. Begin by making 1 chain. Slip stitch into the left stitch. Then make 3 chains. Start from the second chain from the hook. Pick half loop and work 1 slip stitch. 1 half double crochet. Below, skip 2 stitches. Slip stitch. We will consider the stitches after slip stitch after as a group. Continue and work 2 more groups. For the last group, slip stitch with a 1 stitch interval. After completing this, the first round of the leaf is done. Continue to crochet the second round. First, crochet 1 chain as a bridge. Turn the workpiece. Insert from top to bottom into the horizontal line on the left side of the below slip stitch. Slip stitch. Then, follow the chart to crochet the corresponding stitches. Complete this round. Finally, slip stitch where you started. The second round of the leaf is now complete. Finally, crochet the third round. First, crochet 1 chain as a bridge. The chain can be worked loosely. Slip stitch into the horizontal line on the right side below. Then, follow the chart to crochet the corresponding stitches. Finally, join with a slip stitch where you started. Fasten off the yarn. Work the yarn tail into the piece. The third round is now complete. The calyx is also finished. Finally, assemble the sunflower D. Start by making the flower core. Take out the corresponding yarn. The swatch colors are random. First, cut a piece of yarn, about 40 centimeters long. Set it aside for later use. Hold your 4 left-hand fingers together. Wrap the yarn around your fingers. Wrap approximately 80 rounds. The number of rounds for the swatch is random. If you want the flower core to be fluffier, you can wrap more rounds. After completing, trim off the excess tail. Take out the previous tail. Fold it in half. Make one end slightly longer. Insert it into the loop and tie a knot. Pull tight. Remove the loop. Then use the shorter tail to form a loop above. Wrap the longer tail around about 1 centimeter above. Pull tight. Draw through from the reserved loop above. Pull tight the shorter tail below. The flower core is now complete. Then take the calyx prepared earlier. First, stuff a little bit of the tails inside the calyx. Please do not stuff it too full. You can use scissors to help. Then thread the tail of the flower core into the sewing needle. Pass it through the middle inside the calyx. Come out from the center. Insert the flower core into the inside of the calyx. Try to pull it inside as much as possible. Cut open all the loops of the flower core. Trim the tails according to your preference. Leave at least 3 centimeters of tail. Trim the top smoothly. Please complete this. Then take the flower stem. Insert it into the center of the calyx. Try to insert it as far inside as possible. This will make it more secure. Then wrap the yarn from the calyx around the flower stem. Please complete this. That concludes the tutorial for Sunflower D. Up to this point, the process of making the flower branch is explained. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.